You've joined us again on another episode of Different Walks, Serious Talks. You're here with Autumn, Keisha, myself, Jessica, and Farah. This week we're going to be talking about arguments. So we'll be talking about when you get an argument and you're ready to end it. So do you coast? Do you text back? Do you argue back and forth? Give them a chance. Um, how do you handle arguments from afar? So when you're not in the same physical location as someone, and how far can you take it? How far are you willing to take it? Should there be rules? So, anybody want to start us off?
Let's flip the script. Jess, why don't you start us off?
Um, Actually, I try not to argue as much. We've talked about it before. I'm not great at arguing, and it's Farrah's fault. It's Farrah and Francis' fault because here's the thing: I'm a Scorpio. I'm very passionate, and so when I was younger, they used to tell me that I was a slow boil. Like I would be upset, and you wouldn't hardly be able to tell. And then when I get
Yeah.
past my boiling point, I just go for the jugular. Like they the
Yeah.
example they used that changed me completely was, well, you just go for the throat because you would just say like, I don't know, that's why your grandmother's dead. But I would never say something like that. I would never say something like that. But since they had that perception of me, I was like, you know what? If they feel that way, I need to change. So I've become very much different in the way that I argue.
So how
Now
do you
I still
argue
argue with
now?
Farrah though. I try to be as logical as possible. Now Farrah and I will argue, and again, like sometimes I do get to my boiling point, and I'm like, I've been trying though. But
A
like
new person,
it's
please.
right. It is different though to argue with like siblings and things rather
Yeah.
than arguing in a relationship. Because in a relationship, and even in a professional setting, I just get more like technical with my words. I
Mm.
get like I get very wordy. I get into all the reasons why, and I just like go down a rabbit hole, and I'm
Yeah.
just saying things in a way that people are like, hold on, let me get the dictionary, and then
Because
we
why are you
can
using
talk about
three
this.
syllable words right now? Like,
Like, yeah, like
why are you doing
what?
spelling bee words? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So, so
They're like,
that's
use it in
how
a sentence. You're like, I just did.
I just did. What are you talking about? Like that has actually happened to me. Like you joke, but they use it in a sentence. Were you listening? You weren't listening.
You weren't even
But
listening.
you weren't
Now the
listening.
argument is
I
10
just used it
times
in a
worse.
sentence. Like you can't use made up words. I've gotten that. Like
Oh,
what?
girl. Not made up words.
What about? It's
Oh, that's
crazy.
hilarious. That is
But
hilarious.
what about you? How do you handle arguments?
Um, so I'm really good at arguing. I'm like super good at it. I'm always calm and logical. I didn't have to just apologize to my middle for
Oh,
yelling at them just the other day. So yeah, yeah. I try my best not to yell. So most of my life I think of in lyrics, right? I always think about a lyric to a song somehow, some way it connects. And one of them that I think of often is Lauryn Hill when she said that respect is just the minimum. So I try to treat people with respect. However, I got limits. I got limits. Like if
dun
I
dun
am not in
dun.
the best mood to talk and then you keep asking, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? By the third one, I'm going to go off. I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about your mama. And then I'm like, dang it, I didn't want to say all of that. I just
Oh,
wasn't. Oh, you
not your
pushed me.
mama.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get it. Everybody's gonna get it once I reach that point. So I try to be like, okay, listen, I'm not in a position to communicate right now because I want to do so in a way that is respectful to you. So if you could just give me like a couple of hours, we'll circle back around. Because I think it's important to fight fair, right? You want to fight in a way that is still respectful to your partner or whoever you're speaking with. Because again, that should just be the minimum is respect. Oh, girl, I fall short all the time. All the time.
You've grown too, though. You used to be like, no, fighting isn't fair. Like that's why you fight.
Oh, oh shoot, I did say that, didn't I? I did say
You're
that.
you're like fighting isn't fair. Nobody waits for you to throw the punch. No, when you're
You're right.
fighting, you do what you gotta do.
Okay, okay, yes, I might have
But you
bit the
have grown
bullet
as a
then.
person. You
Thank
have grown as a
you.
person. That's
I'm
fantastic.
trying. Now, I will say that some of that is still true because I believe there is a season for everything. Sometimes you do, in fact, need to fight fair. If you are in a, this is somebody that you love and care for, and you want to make sure that you can maintain that relationship, you need to make sure that you're fighting fair. But if this is somebody on the street and they have it coming to them, I'm all for giving it to them. Let them have it. They asked for it. Go ahead and oblige them. Let them have it. Yeah.
Black mamas all around the world are like, yeah, people be asking for stuff.
They do. They do. You don't have to. Don't be the one to start the fight, but you should definitely finish it. So yeah, talk about their dead grandmama sometimes if they ask for it.
What about you guys, Autumn Fair?
I mean, I feel like I've grown as a person with arguing because I used to see red and didn't care who I was attacking. Um, I didn't generally fist fight on purpose most of the time because a lot of times I started with my words, but with my hot temper, if you get too close. But I haven't fought in at least a little over a decade, and I do tend to use my words a lot better than I used to. I
That's
don't just
huge.
go into survival mode. Um, I do I do tend to stare people down, unfortunately. I don't I don't break eye contact. If we're in the middle of arguing, we're gonna argue. And you're gonna look me in the eye because I want to see what you're gonna do, and I'm looking at you all over, and you're gonna keep your distance so I can see your whole body. Um, it does change with the situation. If it's somebody who's closer to me, since I know I have a temper, I try to step back and look at the situation. Um, Especially if it's my siblings or my spouse, or even somebody in like a class I go to with my toddler. I do choose to use my words a lot better, especially if you're around people. That does help. Um, in a customer service type setting, when you're over the phone or long distance, you can get real good with words. I can get real good with words as well. We were taught to use our words if we really need to. And we can also use curse words if you get our tempers a little bit too riled up. I don't necessarily have to use curse words, and I have actually turned a whole conversation around by purposely not using curse words. So the person cursing at me could justify why they continue to use the curse words because they couldn't find something else to say. I
Hmm.
mean, there's only so many curse words you can say, but I'm sitting here saying a whole paragraph. Are you going to continue to say it, motherfucker, or shit, or damn? Like, seriously, come up with some words and then we can have an actual debate. Because I prefer debating with an argument than sitting here and being screamed at. And I don't mind debates. We could have them. I like to agree to disagree. That's what, instead of arguing, I like to agree to disagree. It's useful to be able to agree to disagree because everybody has different viewpoints. And you actually learn different viewpoints from other people that you weren't willing to learn before. But I think overall, when I am arguing, now I forget sometimes in the middle of an argument what we're arguing about. Seriously. If it goes on too long, like I got other stuff to do. I'm trying to do some laundry, or I'm in the middle of cooking, or my daughter's calling my name because I live in Family Guy. My name is Mommy, Mama, Mother, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. Oh my goodness, yes, yes, yes. No, you're not even gonna answer me. You're just saying it for fun. So dealing with that and dealing with all the other stuff in my life, I don't have time to argue. And people think that they're arguing with me because I might sound like I'm still having a debate with you, but my mind is probably somewhere else by then.
Hmm.
So sometimes people continue to argue with me. Sometimes they realize I don't know what I'm talking about no more. Because you've been there. You'll be like, well, you said, I'm like, I don't know. That was like 5 minutes ago. What are we even talking about right now? Like, why are we even still
So
arguing?
frustrating.
What are you mad
It's so
about?
frustrating.
Like, what
That
are you
is so
angry about?
frustrating when you're
Like,
arguing with
how dare
somebody and they're
you?
like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You're the one who's upset. What do you mean? What am I
Yeah.
talking about?"
Let's take all the fight out of you.
You know,
Let's take
you
all the
know, you
fight out of
know.
you. You're
I don't want to
tired
argue
now.
with you no more.
And it
I'm
happens
just
a lot,
Like,
exhausted. I'm just gonna lay down.
especially since
be
I've
like,
had a baby. It happens a lot. And sometimes the other person won't even realize that you are not even there anymore. They'll keep arguing with
Yeah.
you, and you'll be doing something else, and they'll be upset that you're not arguing anymore.
that
Oh, when
Started
people
arguing
get
about
mad
not
that you're not
arguing.
people
mad,
get mad.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they get
that
real mad when
happens.
they can't make you mad no more.
Woo. Especially if you're in public and somebody go to try and make you mad, and you look at them, and you're like, not worth it. And you go somewhere else, and they just after you, like, did you hear what I
Or you
said?
just
I
laugh.
did, but I chose to
I
ignore it.
did. I don't care. So
Yeah, it gets pretty bad, especially because I'm little. People pick on me. I've been hit by shopping carts. Jessica will tell you, like, I don't know what goes on. Just people just,
people
they
are
see me and
ridiculous.
don't see me at the same time because they be like, damn, boom. How you almost knocked me over when you was just looking at me so hard? Or even when I argue with people I don't know if you remember this, Jessica. When I was pregnant, I got in an argument with this lady who hit my mom with her wheelchair.
Yes, I do remember that.
Now, I'm like 8 months pregnant, and my mom
You're
is
big
already
old
limping.
pregnant.
This lady hit my mom, and all I did was turn around and say, ma'am, you hit my mom. Can you please be careful? This lady started going off.
My.
Now, I started to go off for a second, and then I thought, let me flip this on this lady. I said, ma'am, I could see that you are disgruntled because you're in that wheelchair, and you must be really frustrated. So I'm going to give this to you because I can't argue with you right now because I'm having a baby and you can't stress me out. But what you're not going to do is sit here and curse at me. So I'm going to turn my back on you. And if you decide to keep arguing with yourself, that's okay. I understand crankiness because I'd be cranky as a pregnant woman, and you probably cranky as a disabled person, and that's your right. And I turned back around. She kept cussing me out. My mom was like, leave it alone. I'm like, and
Yeah,
But it's
Farrah
so
was
hard.
struggling.
finally the
It's
Farrah was
lady
so
really
hard.
trying.
finally was like, ma'am, can you please, or please leave my line. Seriously.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
that was difficult. But 10 years ago, I probably would have fist fought that lady in the wheelchair. I don't care. But
Girl, you going to
with
jail,
the
jail.
growth, yeah, I didn't care back then. I didn't care if I went to jail or not because
I
I felt like
mean,
it was a dishonor to me and you were disrespecting me, so it was worth a couple $100 bail.
If you're not
But
gonna bring
now,
dishonor to my family, mm,
now, here's the thing. Sometimes I think mean things because just now I just thought it was manual wheelchair. Like, just put a brakes on. What's she gonna do? Just put a brakes on and walk away. Like, if she's being a
this
jerk,
is
just like
America.
put the
just
brakes
there.
Do
on,
something.
walk away. I know it's rude to touch somebody's wheelchair, but it's also rude to
It
cut
is.
somebody out. So.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
rude to hit people. And when I used to work at Universal, people used to run people over all the time. Think that since I'm in what is it called, ECV, EVC, whatever. I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm just gonna run somebody over because they better not step in my way. And you would think that you have more empathy because I know with my problems, with my spinal issues, it makes me have more empathy for other people because I know how painful it is and what I have to go through. So when I see other people that have any type of disability, it makes me feel for them more. And just even regular people, when you when you see somebody with a broken leg or with a messed up shin, a band aid, shoot, you feel empathy. But nowadays, people are like, let me run you over with a
Yeah,
bicycle,
people aren't
scooter,
really.
wheelchair, and you're left to feel like, should I argue with this person? Or
A lot of times I'm just like, you have a fantastic day. And then they're even more upset because they're like, I just did something to you. You should be upset. You have a blessed day. Have an amazing day.
yeah, I don't have that
There's
mentality.
upset. Yeah, I do.
My first mentality is always, you remember when
my
that
first
I was
my
going
first
across that
mentality
parking lot and
is
that lady
to
came
be
running out of
blessed.
nowhere and
No.
she ran in front of my car and now I'm already driving. There's no stop sign. Yes, I should stop for a pedestrian, but I didn't see her coming out of nowhere. You know that lady had the nerve to stop in front of my car and hit my car? Dear Jesus, you lucky I don't run you over. Don't touch my car. I already stopped for you. I stopped for you. You lucky I didn't hit you. You ran across the parking lot. Yes, it's pedestrians first, but not in front of a rolling vehicle. Wait for the vehicle to stop.
Right.
But I didn't even get out my car. I just rolled down my window and said, "Lady, touch my car one more time, you're gonna find out." And she looked at me and kept on moving.
Lord.
Because she knew you were serious. She could
What about
tell.
you, Autumn? How do you argue? What's your arguing style?
Yeah, I want to know my arguing style.
We do. This is
We do, we do.
Autumn, you going for the jugular?
I hate arguing for starters because I go from
Mm.
0 to 100 real fast.
Yeah.
I give zero fucks about
Mm.
who you are. I don't care. Respect. So when I, I lose it, that's why I don't put myself in predicaments to have to argue with anybody. And that's why I stay in the corners of my four walls. So I ain't gotta step out there in that damn hostile environment that will make me
Mm.
go beast mode. You know what I mean? 'Cause I ain't trying to
Yeah.
go to jail. I got 3 little people that I gotta deal with. 3. No. Mm-mm. So
But we
That's
shouldn't have
very
to live
wise.
like that. You
I go
shouldn't have
ham.
to live like that. The world should be a better place that we should be able to
It
talk
should,
to our
but it's
neighbors
not.
when we were growing up.
Reality is w- the world is not a nice
Yeah.
place. So when my argument, because I will, I will probably put hands too. That's just me. And I've worked on, tried to work on myself, but I am who I am.
Yeah.
Don't cross me. Mm, yeah, I don't like to argue. I hate it. I hate it.
I can understand that. I'm a different person depending on who I'm arguing with. Like I
Mm.
argue with Farah, and it's just like we argue. 5 minutes later, we're good. I argue badly with like in a relationship. Like I back down too easy, probably in most
Mm.
cases. But if somebody's like arguing with me about my family, if somebody is like arguing with me about a friend, and they're especially if they're insulting that friend, I'm like, I would love for you to hit me first. I really would. Please hit me so that I can take you down. But and then and then of course, if it's a stranger, I'm more likely to be like, you are very insignificant in the greater scheme of my life. So let's talk about it. Okay. I'm going to be calm this entire time because in 5 minutes, I will not know you just like I didn't know you 5 minutes ago. So
Hmm.
I really don't care. Like, you can be all crazy and yelling and calling me names, and I'll be like, oh, poor thing. So,
Nah, remember when that guy spit on me at 7-Eleven?
yeah, it was gross. That's
That's
that's different.
assault.
I feel like that's
That's
like hitting
assault.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
that's
7-Eleven
different.
manager
It's
supposedly couldn't
gross.
find the tape when the police came. The dude left. I don't even know why he spit on me. I had no idea who the dude was. All I know is I turned around and he said something to me, and I was like, "What?" And next thing I knew, I was getting spit on.
Oh,
And then,
Farrah.
You want
and
Oh,
then I was,
I'm
me?
so
then I was in the middle of
sorry.
an argument for no reason, and I didn't even know why I was arguing. Some dude spit on me, and that's the kind of stuff people try me. So we have
No,
a
I'm
choice.
so sorry, Farrah.
Assault. That's assault.
That is assault. You got to throw hands after that. That's
Exactly.
crazy. Why would that's? Oh, I'd
Ain't
rather you just
ain't
hit
going.
me.
I ain't stand up there. Nope. Nope. Nope.
That's
Hell no.
crazy, and you should have never had to deal with that. I'm so sorry.
I've been
Mm.
dealing with stuff like this since I was little.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think we all deal with some crazy stuff that happens that's so unexplainable. That what I don't know what really just happened, but you know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna deal with it like right now.
Yeah.
Um, so let's change it up a little bit. So what about on like somebody that you care about, whether it be a romantic relationship or a friendship, but they disrespect you badly and like you part ways. So are you just gonna ghost them, or are you gonna text them, or do you call them? Like, how do you handle that? Like,
I've never
if
parted
you're
ways
like
without finishing an argument.
you're like I gotta get it out. That's it. Okay.
Uh, yeah, about that.
Are you a are you a ghoster?
My block game is strong as yeah. Um, I'm in a
I need
situation.
notes because mine is terrible.
I'm in a situation like that right now.
Mm.
No.
Far away. I can't stand texting now. I can't even stand phone calls because language, body language, tone, everything gets misconstrued. It's not gonna come off. It's not gonna come off the way you want it to, as if you was in front of the person. So, I long for the days where people can communicate face to face. You know, um, long distance arguments. I've had that. It didn't go well. Um, it was highly disrespectful what I went through,
Mm.
and I'm gonna try to talk to you as calm as possible. Have a conversation with you as calm as possible. But if you continue to play in my face, act stupid with me, now mind you, this is over the phone. I don't know your
Mm-hmm.
body. I can't see you. I don't know what's going on. But if your demeanor comes off in a way that you're not receptive to the conversation I'm trying to have with you, okay, that'll be
You
the
know what? I was
first
wrong.
and last conversation I will have with you. Because I tried.
Mm-hmm.
I tried. I ain't arguing no goddamn stop sign.
Yeah.
So, ghost, block, whatever.
Eat
Everything. All of the above. You can't
in
say I
that
didn't
order.
because I did. I tried. I did.
So fair. What you were saying? You were wrong.
Yeah, because Autumn reminded me I did have one long distance relationship that I had to cut off. My ex-husband, he was in prison.
I think it's a little different.
He was he was a bit
He
crazy.
was a psycho.
He
Oh,
was. Well, see, we'll never know if he actually did some of the stuff that was happening to me, or if it was random and he was just taking credit.
sure.
Jesus.
Because
I am
what
bad
he
at it
could he
though.
have done for
Did
me?
they?
I mean, I don't know. I
No,
don't think he was that G, so I don't know.
I think he
Could
took
be. I
credit
don't know.
for it because he did it. So I think he was just psycho, and I'm glad you're away from him. So
For
yeah,
sure. Keep him locked up.
yeah.
Y'all don't let
That's
him.
I
I'm
had to
good
make it work for
at
a long time though.
cutting off new guys. I'm good at cutting off new ones. I'm bad at cutting off
Oh yeah, she does
like
that like
guys have been. Yeah, like unfortunately, well, like especially lately, like if a dude like if he today I matched with somebody on a dating app, chatting with him back and forth, seemed like a nice guy. He sent me a voice message. I was like, my voice is deeper than his. I don't think I can talk to this dude. Uh,
You got
and
the
I
ick, and you
know
was like,
that's. I was like, ooh, and
I mean, you know
I
what
know that sounds shallow, but also like I was like I couldn't wake up to that voice. Like
realistic though.
yeah,
realistically, I could not wake up to that voice. So, it, and I feel bad because I was just like, we've only known each other 24 hours. I don't need to tell him I'm so sorry that we didn't work out. I was just like, I think it's over. So pretty much
Yeah,
anything, guys get knocked out at this point. But like,
love that for
I was
you.
in, I was in a relationship for like on and off for 10 years, and I didn't cut that off when I should have cut it off. And before
Praise
that, for
God.
another person for longer than I should have, and I should have let him go find his person earlier. But you know, I'm now hopefully I can find my person if I don't cut them off before they even get a chance.
Your person will find a way. You can send a carrier pigeon, you know what I'm saying?
Something.
Smoke signal, something.
God
So
gonna
yeah,
have to come to me in a dream and be like, Jessica, this next one I need you to check the box. He gonna have to slide me a note.
yeah. Your person
Cause
will find a way if
I
it's
be
meant to
cutting
be.
dudes off.
That
Like,
Ain't
part,
nothing wrong with it.
I
yeah,
believe that. I truly
Yeah.
believe.
I
yeah.
definitely believe in ghosting. I know there was this one young lady that I saw on the social media. She was saying that um, they're figuring out who scammers can scam more than once. And I guess she was interviewing somebody that, scam people. And they already know who that mark is because the ones that they can't scam twice are the ones that automatically contact the police or whoever, and they know that's it. Oh, I went too far with this person. But the ones that they can usually scam again and again are the ones that call them and confront them and say, "Hey, you stole my money. You did this." And that's when they have an opportunity to lie and spin the story, and then they could go ahead and hoodwink them out of another 10,000 whatever
Yep,
dollars.
yep.
And I
You
think
absolutely.
about that all the time. If I
Yep,
gave you a very clear boundary for me, I
yep,
don't like such and such. I don't like so and so. I do not appreciate it when X, Y, and Z happens. And then you choose to do X, Y, and Z anyway. Clearly, you don't
yep,
care. So
yep.
why would I take the time to explain to you why you should care? Stupid.
Stupid.
Because now you played in my face, and now you're playing with my time. Me circling back to explain to you how you messed up when I already made it clear that I don't like X, Y, and Z. No, I don't. I can't. I just won't do it. Now, if it's something that maybe they did not know before, and I really care about them, and they've had a good track record of showing that they care about me, I could say, "Hey, such and such happened. I didn't really like it, and I actually believe that you are capable of changing." Then yeah, I'll have that conversation with you. But if I made it very clear I don't play like that and you choose to play that way, block, ghost, delete, you'll never hear from me again because I'm not going to give you another opportunity to gaslight me, play in my face. That's just dumb. And
That
I never
part.
understood. It's just dumb. And I truly feel like people are like, oh, but I have to have closure. I feel like closure is whatever you decide, whatever you tell yourself. Because who lives with you every day? Who you got to see when you look in the mirror? Thank you. I tell myself, you know what? Case is closed. I got the closure I need. Done.
I'm
I
so
don't need anybody
terrible
else
with
to tell me
that.
otherwise.
I'm so
What?
bad with that. I be like sending text messages this long
Hell no.
about the thing that I'm upset with,
Mm,
and like
Girl, they might
I'm
not even read
terrible.
all
I'm
of it.
terrible with it.
There's
Like,
people that'll be like a
mm.
paragraph. I ain't reading all that.
They
No, I
probably
just
won't read it.
here's the
No
thing:
better.
they'll
Hell
tell me
no.
I'm not gonna read all that, and then 3 minutes later they're responding to like 8 different parts of it, and then I get wrapped right back up into it.
Well, who
So
has the time? See, that's what it is. You see, you heard what you said. You got wrapped back into it.
I
That's
get
exactly
wrapped
what
back
they
into
wanted.
it.
That's exactly
Yes.
what they wanted. Girl,
Yeah,
they got you, girl.
I
They got
do
you.
way too many texts. Yeah,
I feel like if
I've
it can't
started
be
to
resolved in like four
not do
text
it so
messages, then
much.
we probably need to talk it out or not talk at all. That's how I feel. We should not be going back and forth for too long. Who has the time?
I'd
Yeah,
rather
one
go
time.
back
We,
in person.
one time?
One
One time,
time.
Adam?
That's it. One time.
I don't
That's
blame you,
it.
girl. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
If I couldn't get my point
Yeah.
across to you clearly the first time, and we still doing, I ain't gonna. No, I ain't gonna do it. I already said what
Well,
I need to say.
it
And some
depends
people
on.
are committed to not understanding your point. They are like, that's
And
my
that's why you
my whole
gotta.
bit is I don't understand.
It
That's
depends
why
whether
you got.
I'll even remember to keep going with my point. Because I might have started to make a point and I trailed off and
You
that
just
was
were
my
like,
point. And then I'm gonna And I will start a whole different conversation with you. Now you all you
She
confused.
will.
I'm not gonna
Like, what
argue
we
with you,
were
Farrah.
Oh
arguing about?
goodness.
Because I
Oh my, I'm
continue
not
the
gonna argue with you
conversation.
right
If I
now.
walked away, not only did I walk away, I forgot what we were talking about. So you can't even come back and try to argue with me. Because the minute I
Here's
You're
the
walk
like, that
away,
thing.
was
I
he
don't
owed
remember what we
me.
were arguing
Farrah
about.
had started.
You're gonna sit here and try
Farrah,
and turn me around like we were in the middle of an argument.
look.
Where was
Here's the bad
where
part.
were
Farrah
we?
was aggravated one day, and she started 3 different arguments with me. None of them got finished. She was just aggravated. She was already up here, so she started one argument. She
God.
went over there and started another argument, and then as I'm like, okay, and I started talking about it. She started a different argument, and I was like, I'm done. That's it.
Sleep.
No.
Take a nap, Farrah.
You
Eat
know,
a
it's funny
Snickers.
'cause
You're not yourself.
both her and my partner, they'll be like, "I'm done arguing." I'm like, "I don't care." Da 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 da. Now I'm done. And they'll walk away, and they're like,
And she will. And here's the bad part about me. I will think about it for like another 4 hours.
Oh,
I am like an
ruminating.
overthinker,
Me
really
Yes.
too.
bad. So
Me
I'm
too.
over here. She's over there. She's down there watching TV,
Over it. She's not even thinking
hanging
about it no
out,
more.
"Look,
doing
I
Not
got
in
laundry,
a
this.
good
I
playing
one.
got
with
some
playing with
laundry.
Kai.
Here's
Like
some towels, Jessica. Oh, hey, I'm cooking this. You want this for dinner?" And here she goes looking at me all crazy. I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
and I'm like, sure. Yep. I'm used to it. It's fine. I'm still gonna be up here thinking about it for another 2 hours. So
It's like
whenever
me
dinner's ready, let me
when
know.
her and him have an
Listen.
attitude. I'm like, "It's all right. It's gonna be all right. Whatever you mad about. If it was me, you'll live."
Usually it's not her, but sometimes you think I got an attitude and I don't. But sometimes like I'm like just thinking about the thing that I didn't get to get out. Like I'm like I had a response ready. Like,
Nobody told you not
You
to
know
get
what?
that. Look,
That's
even
what
if
you know what?
you can
See,
still
there's
get
your
your response out. You may not get the response that you wanted because
I don't
I
like
may not
that
remember what we're talking about, but you can still get
because
it
my
out.
response from you ends up being, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like,
it's
I
not it's
worked
not even
so
worth it.
hard. Like, it's not even worth it anymore.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. You don't have to you don't have to get validation from Farah or anybody else. Okay? You just get the validation from the fact that you got it out. And she just told you you can say it. You can say it. Just so that you can
She
have the
says
peace
that
of
now
mind
while
like
she's
I said it.
calm.
He does
She
it
says
Oh,
all.
that
okay.
now while she's calm.
Listen,
When
I
she's
circle back.
already she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like she makes me feel
Okay, come
like
on, let me
I
make you
don't know.
feel
Maybe I wasn't
something.
talking about nothing. Like
I would just be like, earlier today, I believe I heard you say such and such, and you walked away. I just want you to know in that moment, I just wanted to say, you. But I didn't.
I don't say that.
And now
Sometimes
we can move on. You know what I'm saying?
sometimes
Like,
I
just go
don't
ahead
say
and wrap it up.
that.
Just bring it back
sometimes she
full
will
circle
come
and put a
back and
bow
say
on it.
something.
Now let's,
She does do that
Sometimes I
sometimes.
will.
And
and that is her
I even
right.
try to empathize. So here's the thing. So if I try to empathize with your point that you just made, and I don't connect the same way that you expected,
No,
but I
she's like,
connected though,
but she
you're still
doesn't. She thought
upset.
she
But
did.
I
She thought
connected,
she did,
and
but
I
we're not even on
definitely
Okay.
the
try
same
to
conversation.
empathize. I
She's
even
like, "You mean
look,
earlier today when you
Y'all do
said
too much.
XYZ?"
See?
And I'm
This is
like,
why I don't like
"No,
arguing. See?
He said,
This
no,
is
hang it
too
up.
much.
it's not
Autumn
the
said, hang it
same conversation.
up.
What
It
are you
is too
talking about?"
much. Too much
to
energy
soften the
expended.
blow.
Hell no. I'm good.
But to
Hilarious.
soften the blow while they're sitting here telling me what I did wrong, I'll even
Yeah.
repeat back to them. So what you're saying is
Yes.
I did this. That'll make them more upset. But they're the ones
Because
who told
she's
me to do it in the
wrong.
first place. They
Because
say,
she's
You
repeat it
didn't
back
repeat it back right.
because I don't
because she didn't feed
know.
it back right.
I
Oh,
don't
Lord.
know.
You
I
know what?
think
Okay, Farah.
That's
Okay,
what she
Farah.
said.
what I'm saying
That
is
and that's what she does right there. You saw her. She's like, "Oh no! Look,
I
you're
tried
with
to be
toddlers
calm.
for too much of the day. I don't want that response."
I
This is what you
tried.
got to do,
I
Farah. You
tried
got
not
to
to
hit
mess
her
it
with
up.
you got to be like, listen, I hear what you're saying, and, your feelings are valid, and I'm sorry that, I made you feel that way. And
Yeah,
then
but
just,
if I say something like that, then they're like, "You're patronizing me. You and that psychology mess. You took all those classes." I'm like,
Don't say that. I don't say that. That's the other.
you doing
That's
that
not me.
psychology mess.
That
I'm
is
actually
not
trying to be
me.
sincere over
That's
here.
the other.
trying
And
to
you know what? And
be
that's what
funny
you,
about
and
every
that
time.
could be a whole new argument. Be like, listen, I was trying to be sincere with your ass, but you didn't want to take it. So you know what? Fine,
See,
stay mad.
that's
I don't care.
here's the thing. For me, I've been living with her for 39 years. When it happens to me, I don't say all that. I'm just like, okay, that's life.
Okay, so what
Like,
do you want her to say? What do you want her to say,
I want
Jess?
her to know what we're arguing about. I want her to understand the point I'm making. But when she doesn't, I'm just like, okay.
That's Farrah's superpower.
I've been thinking about it for the past 4 hours, and you don't even know what the argument was.
That's
That's
why
a
you got to just get it
superpower.
off your chest in that
I
moment.
want that
Get
superpower,
it,
Farrah.
cause
Right?
girl, be
Exactly. Everything
forgetful.
else with it.
Just be
But
forgetful,
all
and your
you
life
Man.
want
is
to
gonna
do
be
is
easier.
people being mad at you all the time. Look, sometimes people get mad at me and I don't even know why. Like people outside, people who are close to me, but not, like they're part of my family because they're extended family or something like that. I'll get in arguments that I didn't even know I was in.
Oh, girl.
Like somebody be like, so and so is mad at you because of this and that, and I'm like, huh?
Oh, that's something different, though.
No, not just that.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it happens.
people are ridiculous.
No, not all the time. Sometimes I didn't understand the situation, and people
No,
think that I did, and
nah,
there's
it's not that you don't
miscommunication.
understand the situation. People are just gross human beings.
No, and sometimes people just take advantage of me because I'm so
And your
forgetful.
bad memory.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So like I had a friend.
Also, speaking of taking advantage of you and your bad memory, remember you had told me you was gonna let me borrow $259.
As soon as the investment opens up, it's yours.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it. I will be coming back for that.
And so like so we were friends for a few years. She has an autistic child, and I have autistic godchildren. So that's how we connected. We would talk about them. Now, sometime last winter, she started trying to reconnect, and I didn't really notice because I have a toddler and things are busy. But by the time I did notice, I felt kind of guilty. She had been reaching out saying, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" And I like to try and even if I haven't seen you in a long time, I try to respond. Anybody, it doesn't matter how long I haven't seen you. If I remember you, I will respond. So I responded to her, and we started talking. And she gives me a sob story. I can't help
Mm.
myself. I sent her some money.
Mm-hmm.
I sent her this money, and then she asked me for more.
See, that's my
And
cutoff
so
game is
when
strong.
when when things
If
like
I
this
talk to you
happen,
in 6 months to a year, we done.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm not like that. So,
around. What is
but this
that?
is generally
Who does
this
that?
is generally where I get my sisters or my partner involved because I know that people take advantage of me. Now, back in the day, people used to do this all the time because I will willingly, if
Who
I have
somebody would?
nothing to give you and I'm in the middle of eating a hot dog, I will split it with you because that's it. To me, it's not even about God or anything like that. I can't stand to see somebody. It makes me feel nasty inside, like disgusting. I can't stand to see children hungry. Those are my
Okay,
arguments.
so
I have my sisters to take care of me.
so the end of that story was that she came to me and was like, "Hey, Mike said he won't give me any more money. I was wondering if you wanted to pitch in, and I also wanted to know if this is like a scam." And so it was.
But no, I think that's a really good system, though. If you know that you have a super giving heart and people tend to take advantage, it's nice to have, somebody you can confide in and be like, am I tripping? Should I do this? You know what I'm saying? And we help hold each other accountable and stuff.
That's called
I feel like
holding.
that's a really good system.
I like that. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Having a
absolutely.
council of people
We try to do
before you do dumb stuff. Cause I tell you what, I'll talk to a server like, am I imagining things? Is it me? And
that. Is
then
it
when my
me?
council say yay or nay, then that's when I do what I need to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do a poll. I do a polling. If I get
Do a poll.
Get a little
more
survey
nays
going.
than yays,
Yeah.
your ass is out of there. What the fuck?
That's all there is to it. So, Jess, we would love to offer our services to you if you
Yes,
having a
I
hard
got no
time
problem. Yes,
cutting off anybody ever again. You
I
know what I'm
cuss.
saying?
I need to
We're
release.
here.
Let me help you. I help you. Whatever you need,
I
just let me know.
I
Give
do
me a
have a hard
call.
time cutting off people,
Yeah.
especially like certain
Cause
people
you a
that
people
like
pleaser. That's
I
that's
am.
that's that's
I
a that's a
am.
personality situation. Trust me, I'm a people pleaser too, but I'm starting to be reformed.
You
So
got to be able to please yourself before you
yeah,
please the
Yeah.
people.
yeah, but
Please yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
Protect your peace.
but when you've been doing it for so
Yeah.
long,
It's
it's hard
difficult.
to damn say no. I don't wanna. Nowadays, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
But
Fuck.
you
Now
know, if
you
you
also
are
don't have to
gonna
say
have
anything at
rules,
all. Ghost, block, delete.
but if you are gonna have rules, like with your spouse, one of the rules that I learned, and I don't remember where I heard this, it was either mommy or his mom.
I'm so bad.
Don't call each other names, because I'm good for
Yes.
that.
Oh Lord, don't.
So
I'm
much
not. I
sense.
I don't call
You
names.
low down dirty. You,
And I go there. I go lower.
yeah.
I go lower than hell. You mess with me, 0 to 100. I'm going there.
See,
I don't care if your mammy,
I
your
don't.
dad, you and your
I used
dog.
to, but
I'm
I
going.
don't anymore. I at least try my best not to. But I
So
used to, boy, I used to tear somebody down in the middle. If I'm heated enough, I don't care if it feels like.
yeah, I don't call
Sooner
Yeah.
people
or
names,
later.
but I do turn around the names that they call me. So especially if a dude is like, "You a bitch," I'm like, "Well, let's go over the actions that have been taken, and let's see which one of us is a
It's
little
really,
bitch." And
yeah.
then I'll like list the attributes that make them a little bit of a
Yes.
and yeah, and then they'll be embarrassed. So, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't I
like
don't
that. Just
like
go after their character. Go after their
yeah.
character. Yeah. Tear them down. Tear them down
Like I go
internally.
after character attributes like okay, no problem. Let's review. So
Yeah.
I try not to like just call names or anything like that.
People
I feel like it's
derogatory
rude.
names, but I will call them whatever they are. If you're a liar, you a liar. If you're a thief, you're a thief. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna call you low down
Even
dirty
If
words like
there
bitch ass
be,
you
there
nigga.
can't
be.
approach
Come
the kind of
on.
boy.
There you go. Well, yeah, okay. You're right. You're right.
Hmm?
You're right.
If there be, there be.
Yeah.
That's what the words are there for. I'm
Well, the
not gonna
thing
look.
is that
That's what
so
words are for. You express.
if
Sometimes it's
I'm
the most
if I'm trying to
accurate
save
word.
the relationship I'm trying to stay in, then it's up to me to try and become better with arguments.
Yes.
It's it's up to him to become better on his own, and I could want him to change, but at the end of the day, prayer isn't for changing him. Prayer is for changing me.
Damn.
So
100%.
I
Yeah.
I
like you,
can
Farrah.
only change myself. So I can work on
Hmm.
me, and I could try to. Ooh, my daughter. Her favorite thing when because yes, I argue with my 28-month-old, and I say 28 months because if I say 2-year old, I forget that she's only two sometimes. So I say 20-month-old, 28 months to remind myself she's a baby. But anyways, so sometimes when we debating and arguing,
She
sometimes
are
when
you?
I get upset in my yes, oh my gosh, why this, why not that? But can we talk about this? Why can't I do this? Anyways, this girl, if I start to raise my voice, sometimes she'll sing this Daniel Tiger song. She'll be like, if you feel so mad that you wanna roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. That's what made me realize that I need to stop being so argumentative. My baby is telling
I
me
know
I
the
need to
baby not
do.
parenting you. Not the baby becoming the mommy. Oh my
Man, she done
god.
brought you down to her level. That's some boy.
Girl.
I say, you right,
I'd be
Daddy.
like, you know what? Go to
Now
your
go sit
room.
down with mommy's relationship.
Lord.
I'd be like, you know what? Actually, mommy's gonna go to her room. Mommy's gonna put herself in timeout.
Boy,
Mommy need a timeout. I'm gonna go
Yes.
sit down. Wow,
but it
that's
make me laugh
humbling.
because I'm in the middle of telling her not to do something, and I'm getting upset. Like if she's about to jump off the couch, don't jump off the couch, mommy. I'm gonna jump. Don't jump off the couch, Mommy, I'm gonna jump. I said don't. Mommy, if she feels, she can't help but laugh. She can't
Does
help
Daniel
but laugh.
Tiger does Daniel Tiger have a song about listening? Where's that song at?
I
Because
don't
when
know.
I gotta tell you
Maybe she
17 times,
doesn't
I
have
just about this
all
couch.
the other ones, but because she has a song for some of everything. But my thing
Oh,
is,
she.
if we're really starting to get, she's getting to me. I'm like, you know what? No more tablet. No more TV. Let's sit in silence.
You go to stare at her like that?
She really does.
Okay.
She'll get so upset. She'll be like, Mommy,
Goodness.
I'll listen. I'll listen. I'm like,
Okay.
you
She
want to
gets so
listen?
serious.
Well, then go
So
eat your
serious.
food. Well, then go potty. Okay, Mommy. So we're going to watch? Yes. Yes, we will.
I love that.
She is teaching me the patience that I didn't think that I could have.
Oh, kids are good for that. Oh, they give you
Yeah,
some patience.
Because I
they
think
definitely
over the
will.
years my patience waned. Because I swear I had more patience in my early 20s than I do right now. 20 years later. Dear Jesus.
Well, what the thing is, you've been through more stuff.
Do you
You
have
know what
more
I'm
patience
saying?
or do you just care more?
I can't say I care more because there's a lot of things I don't care.
Because I don't feel like you have more patience. I feel like you care more. Like there were things that you didn't have patience for then too, and you didn't really have patience. You were just like, okay. You would literally laugh in people's face. And so now you're like, I'm not going to laugh in their face, but I will have a bit of patience with you. A bit. Don't,
Don't push it,
a
though.
bit.
I
Don't
was
Like,
push
in one
it.
of the toddler classes, and I really strongly believe in letting children fight their own battles. And one of the other toddlers, who is actually like a foot taller than my baby is up to her shoulders because the class is from 0 to 5 years old. So she's a little older, and the little girl grabbed a toy from my baby, and instead of watching and seeing what was going to happen like I was, when Zakai went to go grab it back, this lady runs over and grabs it from my baby and hands it back to her baby. So for a second, I saw the red, but then I was like, I'm in a toddler class. What should I do? So I politely went over and grabbed my baby toy and said, Come on, Zakai, you know you got that toy at home. She might not have one. Let her play with it. It's okay. And that was the best I could do in the moment. But it
that's
was
progressive.
killing
I
me
like
inside
it.
because I wanted to cuss her out and tell her, You don't mess with kids. They fight their
Yeah.
own battles. If my baby grabbed it back and she grabbed it back and they started fist fighting, that's when you grab your children and say, No, 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 that's not okay. You talk it out. But you don't grab toys from another kid. That's fighting stance. And if
Yeah.
I was younger, that might have been a fight. But
I,
Growth.
I think with kids, I have a
Evolution.
lot of patience, and parents, I have a lot of patience. With the people that I don't have patience for are, I guess, people who over the top like break down at jobs and stuff like that. Like those sorts of people, I have a little less patience with. I try to have
Mm,
patience, but people who are super argumentative and then they break down because everybody is against them. And those sorts of people,
you shouldn't be
I
wrong then. Everybody won't be against you if you weren't wrong. Stop being wrong sometimes. Or be quiet if you can't stop being wrong. That's the part that I don't get. Why are people always loud and wrong? Pick one. Be wrong
Yeah.
pick
in
one.
here.
Uh,
Just keep it up here, you know?
And I don't like bullies. Like
Yeah.
I will go to bat for just about anybody in front of a bully. Like so
Yeah.
I've argued at jobs to a bully who was bullying somebody even that wasn't even on my team. So
Yeah.
like I'm like, no. No, you're not going to do that. Well, they're not even, oh, look at my face. Do I look like I care? Oh, okay. Glad that we're on the same page now. Let's continue the conversation. Because
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have patience for grown people that don't act like they're grown. They act like they don't have no
oh
sense.
God.
I like that. I do not. I hate babysitting grown people. Why I gotta hold your hand and coddle you and teach you all the things? You're 30. 9 years old. You're 72. I shouldn't have
In
to tell you this.
big ages,
Oh, don't act like that at your big age. Don't do that.
And
big
don't pull
That
me
is
ages.
a
into
Yeah.
quick
anything.
way.
It gets
Huh?
on my
Don't
nerve.
pull
Like
me
nobody
into
taught.
Yeah. You'd never learn nothing. Don't pull me into nothing. Just hush. Just be quiet over there. Yeah, those people get cut off real quick and they don't get any patience. And they also don't very much get an argument out of me. I'll be like, yeah, that's wrong. If you look at the black and white, you're wrong. And if you do it
They
again,
they don't care.
you
Some
gotta
people
go.
don't care.
And
They would
sometimes they
rather
don't
argue.
care.
They would rather argue with you when they know they're wrong, and that's why I stay
Ooh,
stuff like that. Cause
go argue with your mama. Don't come over here
yeah,
with that.
that part. Go fuss at your mom.
Yeah, go fuss
Yeah.
with your mama. Mm,
So what do you
mm,
guys
mm.
rules for arguing with your partner? Like other than we talk about not calling names, right? So we're kind of on the same page except Autumn.
Yeah,
Um,
fuck that.
about don't call your partner names, right? What
Autumn,
other
Autumn,
what
don't
is
call them
your
names.
yeah, right? Yeah,
Please.
well, it's okay. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
It's
What is
like
So
your
moving forward,
metaphor.
Autumn, I want you to be like, I was gonna
hmm?
call you a bitch,
Oh,
but I'm
Please.
not gonna do that
I hate
anymore.
that is one thing. That is one thing that I hate during an argument is when somebody says something like that. Like I was going to.
So
That
this is a
pisses me
baby
off.
step
That
for
is
Autumn.
like
This ain't
if
about you.
anything
This is
makes
a
me go
baby
from
step for
0 to 100.
Autumn.
Like
We're trying to
like
get
I
Autumn to a certain place. You know what I'm saying?
look
That's different. That's different.
Do you see
That's
the
when some
different.
concern on my face?
right.
I give
Oh, she's not gonna
zero.
do it anyway. She's not
I
gonna
hate
do
when
it
they
no
do
way.
it
You're
two
right.
different kind of ways too. Like I hate when they're like, I was gonna call you a. I hate that, and I hate when they do the in the middle of an argument they say something like, "Well, I was gonna take you out to the movies, but if you're gonna argue like this,
Who
like
you be arguing with? First of all, what the hell?
Who's that
yeah."
supposed to work on?
One of
Who is
my
that
one of
supposed to
my
work on?
exes was like, "Well, I was gonna do this, but," and he would do that all the time. I was gonna get you flowers, but the way you've been acting, you wasn't gonna do nothing. If you were gonna do it, you would have done it,
You would have
obviously.
done it. And that's why
So
he's your ex now. I never did like him. I never liked him.
you didn't like him
I
before
never
though,
had
but
conversations like that.
so it was his favorite thing to say, and
Ugh.
I assume that somebody else must have done that to him. He picked up the habit and started doing it to me and other people. He's not a bad person, but he was not a good fit for me. So
That's very good. I'm so glad you wrapped it up like that. That's very not toxic of you. That's good. I mean, I don't like it, but that's good. That's good. You're a good person.
I do think that there's one thing though that like I think that a lot of times conversations get mistaken for arguments. So often conversations mean that we can have a disagreement. We can disagree about something without
Yeah.
arguing. We can have a conversation. We can both have a point of view. We can talk about what that point of view means, and we can still differ even at the end of it and say, "Oh, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from, or I don't really understand where you're coming from, but and I don't really agree," and just walk away. Right? That's a
Yeah.
conversation. Arguing usually has some contention, right? People will be having a regular conversation and be like, I just argued with. No, you just provided your point of view and I provided mine. We're having a conversation, not an argument.
But
Yeah.
based on perception too. What you probably
Hmm.
think is not what you think is conversation to them, they steaming, they boiling, and it's based on the topic, and their perception of the topic. To you, like say, you might be viewing that as just a regular conversation. To them, they find it as a debate, which eventually will probably go into an argument because y'all got conflicting opinions.
Debates, you can have a debate without having an argument, but I don't think people realize the difference. So they can't have a conversation or a debate without thinking that they've had an argument, even when they don't, even when they haven't.
I think it depends on who you're arguing with too, because
Yeah,
like anytime I argue with mommy, it doesn't matter whether I'm wrong or not. I'm always gonna apologize, and I'm always gonna feel guilty.
She is your
Yeah,
mom,
just hang it
so
up, Farrah. Just don't even. Whatever
It's
she
even worse
say,
since I
whatever
became
she
a
say, go.
mom. Like I'd be like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're wrong, but mommy, you're the best in the world. You
I know
know,
it's hard out
if it
there.
wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be here. I'm
Yeah.
wrong. You're wrong, but I'm wrong. No, you're
Yeah.
not wrong. Mom. I'm sorry I even said that out of my mouth. Let me go wash my mouth with soap. I can't believe I even talked to you that way. You know what? You hungry? I'm gonna cook you something. You want some coffee? I'm gonna go make you some. Like, how dare I even catch an attitude with her? Can't believe it. And even if I feel like I disrespected her, like I can't even curse with her in the house. Like, I feel like she's gonna.
Yeah. Still don't cuss in front of my mama. Actually, I think Jessica owes my mom an apology because
I'm
Jessica told me
so
I could cuss
sorry,
on this
Miss Ovier.
podcast. Uh
I'm
huh.
so
Tell her.
sorry.
Yep.
That's
Hmm.
true.
I
And then I got in trouble
apologize
I've cursed
later.
if you can.
profusely. I apologize. I apologize. And
Yeah. I'll make sure my mama
I
see
know
this
you don't,
episode.
you're not okay with it,
Look,
and I
just bleep it
apologize.
out, beep.
Just bleep
So,
it out. Yes. Before my mama
uh,
see.
mm,
Ooh, she called me after the first episode. She's like, we don't do that. You don't cuss. And I was like, you're right, mommy. I don't know why I let Jessica talk me into that crazy.
But
But
even when
sailor.
she
it's
was in the
absolutely
car, she heard
insane.
something with curses. Oh, I
I
guess
cuss
she
like a sailor. I
didn't
can't.
drive us in
The
the car.
military did.
In front of your mama, Autumn?
The
In front of your
military
mama?
did that to me. You know what's so funny? When my mama cuss, I laugh at her because it's also weird coming out her mouth. I'm like, Mama, you said what? And I start laughing. It sounds so
That's
funny. I'm
too
like, you
funny.
sound so funny when you cuss. So, of course I naturally cuss every she know her daughter. She know her daughter. So yes. Yes,
Yeah.
That's
yes.
too
I
funny.
mean, yeah. I mean, every mother knows their daughter for the most part. They know. But they will also tell you, like, no, you don't do that. I know you and I know you don't do that, but I just did. Not today. Okay. You're right, mama. I'm sorry. I apologize.
A lot of people can't have like certain conversations with their mom, but so my relationship with my mom is a little different because of how it like we raised a kid together. So we had certain arguments that like are abnormal for like a mom and daughter to have because we functioned as like a parental unit. So it we end up having these sorts of conversations. So sometimes like we'll have conversations that I'm like, this is still weird. Like my mom has been witness to a lot of different things in my life because she lived with me for a very very long time, while I took care of a little kid, and she took care of him too. And then while I was with a long term boyfriend and living together, so it was a very unique situation. Sometimes that relationship ends up feeling different, and we do have some arguments that like we've had before because we've lives with her still, and because she's living with him, I'm like, I'm out of it now.
Yeah.
I don't live there. I can't enforce anything. So that it ends up being a different conversation sometimes because a lot of people see him like he's my brother, whereas at one point he called me mommy. So like it's very weird. It's a very
Yeah.
odd situation. So but like as far as rules, for me, one of the big rules is to respect somebody's space, um, and try to respect the spirit of what they're trying to say, and not necessarily always what they're saying, because sometimes, especially right in the middle of an argument, somebody can say something and it can sound hurtful, or it can sound rude or mean, and it might just I don't want them to feel like they can't say the things that they want to say the way that they say it. So I'm like, just say it. We can figure out the rest later. And no, I'm not telling you like be obviously disrespectful. I am saying that say it how you're gonna say it, and then we can talk about it later. We can talk about the way you said it later. Let's talk about the intent, and let's get down to the root of it. And I have been told that sometimes I over communicate. So, like, I can talk myself out of a relationship.
Well, then they just weren't meant for you. And I never did like them. So, yeah.
You don't like none of them, apparently.
No, I don't. None of them are good enough for you. That's what it is. None
No.
of them.
Some of
But
the rules
yeah,
that we have in place are to not bring up past things because we've been together for so long. Don't bring something up from 15 years ago or 10 years ago or even from last year. Um, Once in a while, even if it's something from a couple of months ago, we shouldn't really be bringing it up unless it's something that's impacting our tomorrow. So I'm not going to bring up that he left the soap on the floor and I slipped 2 years ago, you know? That didn't actually happen. It's just as, I wish I didn't think it
Sounds
happened.
terrible.
But anyway, um, and I don't threaten to leave anymore. So I used to threaten to leave all the time because he left at one point. And to get ahead of it, when we got back together, I used to always be like, well, I'll just leave. And that was putting a strain on the relationship. So we both got together and talked about it. And also, I think it also stemmed from a fear of my father was not around. Yes, we had our stepdad, but it's not the same. And my father was around for a certain amount of time, but one day he said he'll come back, and he never did. And I still didn't think it impacted me that much until recently. And even as an adult, he talked to me up until a few years ago. Um, he used to meet me in different states here and there, and then out of nowhere, um, he decided to stop meeting with me, and then I accidentally outed him to his son. So that was why, and I think that really impacted me. So I would threaten Mike, "I'll leave. I'll get the jump on you before you get the jump on me." Yeah, no, that
mm,
didn't. So
So I wanna make that specific. When she says she outed him to his son, she means that he didn't tell his family that he had other daughters. So he was
yeah, if I had
not.
known that his son didn't know, I wouldn't have done that to him. That's an emotional trauma that I wish I didn't give him. Um, I feel bad about it. I was just trying to connect. I love all my family, even if I've never met you. And I thought that he knew about us, and he didn't. So that was an awful situation. Um, and I'm sorry for how it played out, but that's my father's problem, not mine. He's the one who
Yeah,
chose to hide a
it's
whole family. So I mean, I was already grown. What was the point in hiding me? I don't understand, but whatever. And to his new family. I hope they're getting whatever emotional support they need. But I definitely am getting my emotional stuff together because I didn't realize, like I said, that my father not being around did impact me. And also, so my father's apparently really rich, and him being that rich made me want to never rely on a man because he didn't stick around because he thought that his money was too good for our family. And then he did it with another family and then with another family. And so that kind of gave me a complex about money. So we've purposely trying not to argue about money because we know that that's a sore spot for me. So those are a
that makes
couple of rules
sense.
to try, when we're arguing. Not to say that we always follow them, but we do try.
yeah, those are good rules.
I ain't got none.
Gosh,
She said, no holds barred.
no,
I ain't got no
It's
rules.
all on the
we don't have
table.
Love
rules.
and war, what's that saying? All is
All's fair in love
fair.
and
All's
war.
fair in love and war.
I
I used
Yeah.
mean,
to say that too. I used to say that too.
So what about you, Markeisha?
I mean, well, I do believe there is a season for everything, right? There is a season, and sometimes you do have to cut somebody clean out. I bleeped myself that time for my mom, in case she's watching. Love you, mom. But I do believe that you should treat people that you love with at least respect, right?
respect.
Uh, at the bare minimum, it is respect. But more than that, you really should treat these people that you love and care for with love, with care, with honor, with cherishing. Like that's how we should engage with people. But if you can't do that, then at the very least, it should be respect. And you should say, you know what? I love and care for you, but I can't talk to you in a way that reflects that right now. So I'm going to need a couple of minutes. I'm going to need an hour. I do try my best not to go to bed angry. Sometimes, though, girl, I be sleepy and I still can't talk about it yet. So
Oh my God.
I get tired. Your girl's sleepy. So there's that.
I just can't. Like a lot
um,
of times, I can't. I can't go to sleep. Like
Sometimes I
if
do
I'm
get so
angry.
angry that I can't sleep, but I'm also so angry that I can't talk about it because I'm gonna cuss you out, and I really don't want to cuss you out. So it's really tough. I've started journaling again. I be cussing my
It's good.
journal the fuck out. I be like, bitch, this motherfucker right here. I be writing all hard and stuff. The letters be
Ms.
all
Elvira,
big.
that one she missed it. It's okay. I apologize.
Grr.
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My bad, mom. My bad. But yeah, so I do write now because it helps with my rumination because I do ruminate. Um,
It does help.
so it does help. It does help. And I was never really a journaler before, but I've reached a new pinnacle of rage as I'm getting older. So
My.
I have to do it. I got to do it or I'm going to jail. So, and then my last rule would be, yeah, don't make any threats. I knew a girl. She was young. She had a baby with this one guy. Loved him so much. She, said, "Well, I don't want to be with you anymore. You need to get out." But she only said it so that he would get his act together. And he got out. And he got with another girl. And she was so devastated. And I remember that, 2 decades later. So just don't make any threats. Don't say anything that you're not willing to like follow through on. So
What's that?
Lots of people.
that
So many
girl,
people.
that
So
girl,
many
and other
people.
people
Look, I
too.
don't say nothing. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Not
You
all
just
of us
come
are
home and
like
everything's
you.
packed up.
You look
Yeah, I'm
around
the same
like,
way.
Not all of us have that sort of I need to study. I need to be sensei.
And it's not necessarily a strength. It's a choice that you make for you. And you got to make whatever choice is best for you. But I will know in that moment when the relationship is over. It's like a neon light flashes
yes.
above my head. And
Uh,
I'm like, oh, gotta go. Gotta go. And I'll go ahead and I'll start planning and strategizing. And there's no coming back from it. I don't care if you cry, beg, you know, call my mom, tell my mom on me. It don't matter. It's over for you, and you won't know until I'm already gone. You be like, "Damn, the house is empty." Yup. Because remember 3 weeks ago when you called me out my name, my stuff was already packed since then.
but
You
you
just
know
didn't
what?
know it yet.
We don't talk about the effects of arguing. For
Mm.
me, that's why I don't try to argue. I used to deal with, and I still struggle with
Mm.
anxiety.
Come on
Anxiety.
now.
We are at an
Yeah.
age where we can easily get strokes and don't even know
Mhm.
it as women. We are at that age now. Strokes and heart attacks. And that is another reason why I will cut your toxic ass off before I end up
Gotta
in
go.
awe fussing with your
Yeah.
dumb ass over
You
I
some
gotta
need to
sex.
learn
protect
how to
your
do
peace.
that. I
So,
get
Yeah.
bad anxiety
yes,
attacks, like really bad
Yeah.
anxiety attacks where I can't
And
yes.
it's
breathe.
not even worth it at the end of the
No, it's
day.
not. If I got to fuss and fight with you, loved one, stranger, or whatever, you're toxic. I
I
give you the
got to
same
go.
respect. I give you the respect. I expect it back. You can't do it. And then I got to argue with you to try to get it from you? Nah, homie. We good.
Ain't no
Keep it.
way.
I love my peace too
Ain't no
much.
way.
I love myself too much. I am not
As
going
you should.
to anxiety and doggone argue. I'm not going to do that. You know what's wrong is wrong. People, we at that age where you know what's wrong is wrong. Why am I going
At
to
this
fuss
grown
at
age,
argue? Argue. Why? That's a waste of time, breath, and energy. For
I
what?
think we should be able to
it's time you kick it
converse.
back.
Yes, I understand where you're coming from, baby doll. I really do. We
We
should be
really should
able,
be able to
key
converse about
word,
stuff.
should be able, but we're not living
But I
in that
think
should
a
be
lot of
able
people are able
life.
to converse,
Huh?
but it's so. A lot of people are able to converse, but there's so many people who can't.
They
And
can't.
Yeah.
like
No, we don't
those are the
have
people
the
that
what
I
is
like.
Farrah, you was just talking about your daughter and the other little kid, and it's conflict resolution. We don't
Mhm.
have that training or that our parents didn't. I wasn't taught conflict resolution. I
Well,
Yeah.
we
grew up
may
in
not
a
have been
chaotic
taught it,
house.
but I know that I want to teach my daughter, so I'm learning. I know it's really difficult. It is because my temper, especially with between my ADHD and my temper, it's hard to focus to have the patience, especially for adults. I have way more patience for children than I do for adults.
Mhm.
But I also have to keep in mind that I don't feel much different now than I did at 16. Even though I have grown and have learned experiences, my emotions don't feel that much different.
Nope.
I still
You are who
connect
you
things a certain way. Yes, I am who I am. And it's up to me to choose to grow. Cause back in the day, I would have fought that lady. Especially, you could, my godchildren, I was there for them all the time. I would have fought that lady at Disney, anywhere. You couldn't do nothing or say nothing to my godchildren and not expect me to push you over. And I would dare you to go ahead and call the cops because you got to get to the phone first, baby. My mama used to always tell me that, dear Jesus. But now I'm not like that anymore. I'm not. So I don't even
Well,
fight.
I think
I don't even know if I remember how to fight.
that's the thing. We have to
So
be willing to grow.
but
And
we
Yeah.
so
we
like tons of
not.
people are willing to grow, but not everybody's willing to have the
Okay, let me
conversation
ask you a
about it,
question.
right?
Who's willing to grow more, women or men?
both.
I don't
Who?
think I don't think there's a
I
I
think
don't
it
think it's
depends
one
on the
more than the
situation
other.
and whether the
Yeah,
person
I know a lot
is
of men
open
who
to
are
the
willing to
person.
grow.
For real?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
lots of men.
Can you
And
introduce
therapy and
those men?
everything.
I know a lot of men who are willing to grow, but we have to be
Yeah, I need a
willing to
growth man.
engage in the conversation and not engage it in a way that we're attacking each other, right? So that's one of the problems is that people say that they're willing to engage in the conversation, and then the whole conversation is them attacking the other person, and that's not
Or being
conversation. That's
defensive.
just attacks,
Yes.
Or
or
being
somebody just
defensive
being
even if they're not being attacked.
correct.
Yes. I hate
So
that.
when you have one or the other, like you can't have a decent
No,
conversation.
you
You can't have
can't.
good
So what's the point?
discourse.
So you got to know who
Yeah.
you can
The
argue with
point
and who you
is
can't. That's
the
another
point
thing.
is that sometimes people don't know that they have these knee jerk reactions, right? And especially if they're surrounded by people who are always who are always having the same sort of reaction. So if they don't know that they're surrounded by those people, then
But how you gonna tell somebody or teach them how to argue in the middle of an argument?
I have.
You can try and you can take a step back and be like, this
Yeah,
is not the right way for us to communicate, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
It's me and you versus a problem, not me and you versus each other. But some people,
It's got to
they
start
are
somewhere.
so ingrained with that fight or
Yeah,
flight response that you can't really break through. And
Yep.
they have more work that they
Yep.
have to do on their own. And I think it's beautiful that you have the patience and the tolerance to try to listen to their intent as opposed to what they're saying, and you want to help them. But I also feel like there's comes a certain point where people have to be willing to help themselves. If I'm putting in all the work on
Yep.
your behalf,
Yep. It's
it's
draining.
so exhausting. Yes,
It's
because now I'm
agreed.
working on my stuff, but I got to work on your
your
stuff
stuff.
too.
I help
So
you
it's like if I
communicate.
tell you one, two, maybe three times and you still not doing it, then I'm like, I'm so sorry, baby.
You
I
don't have
wish you
to
all
tell
the
them anyway
best.
because they grown. They grown.
I don't want to be a
But not
project
everybody
manager. I don't want to
not
take on an
everybody
extra
not
project.
everybody grows up the same way, and I
True
think one of the
indeed.
reasons why I am the way that I am is, and Farrah, I don't mean it, like I don't mean it in a bad way, but
I'm
because
crazy.
Farrah, no, not because you're crazy, but because you are hot headed. So because you're hot headed, what'll happen is that I will tell Farrah something, and in the moment she will be like, "Fuck you," but she will go back and think about it, and she might make changes based upon the thing that she told me "F you" in the first place.
I will.
So,
But
so
see, I believe in being adaptable, and I always have been. Because even if I'm wrong and I don't think so in the moment, that doesn't mean I can't think about the situation and realize that I'm.
Okay, but
so
that's
Say
that
that's
something.
the
makes me
thing, Farrah. You
think
are
that you're
able to
not the only
reflect.
one.
I do the
You
same.
are able to
I do the same.
reflect and adapt and grow. There are some people, they do not do self reflection. If you tell them, they are wrong, they're going to be like, you're wrong for pointing out my wrongness. You're like, what? I'm
Okay,
sorry.
here's the thing with
I
those
agree there are
You
people
know?
people.
out there like that, but I think it's
That's when you
because they're
decide whether
surrounded
you're their
by
friend
other
or not.
people that are like that.
That's
Yes.
why I was asking
And
y'all.
that's when you decide if that's going to be your partner or your spouse or not. Because sometimes you
Exactly.
just got to
Yes.
walk away. They don't want to learn. They don't want to
Yeah,
grow.
and
They just
that's why
like to
I
argue.
asked you guys. That's why I asked you between men and women. We went there. We went there.
There are tons of
Keisha,
women who
we
are
went there.
not
You
willing
you
to
you
grow.
drove it home.
I think it
Who is
depends.
more willing to do the work or change or
I
whatever it
know some women
Here's
is?
the
who are
thing.
not willing to
I know
grow,
a
who are
lot
Okay.
of
not
men who
willing
are
to
Okay,
willing
Bro,
can
to
we
grow.
take it to Google? Can we take it to Google? Because here's the thing. I
yes,
think the
please
people that
Google
take
is
are
going to give
willing
you
to
an
take
do
it
AI
the
there.
work,
answer,
Take it
which
there.
means
Take
it
it there.
could be fake.
Please.
I'm going to go to
Think
Google.
Google is fully accurate because it doesn't
Please.
account for the
Oh,
people who aren't always on the internet. But either way, I
No,
can
no,
tell
no,
you
no,
the
no, 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 no,
reality.
no, no. This is my thing. This is my thought process. I feel like people that are willing to do the work and they're willing to change actually take action to do the work. So they go to
exactly.
therapy or they
Exactly.
grab like self help books.
Exactly.
So, what if we Google who's more likely to buy a self help book? Who's more likely to go to therapy, men versus women?
In
Get
my
your
Do we
opinion,
feel like that?
the majority of
get
the
your
men
I
are
don't
telling me
necessarily
went
think
to
it's
therapy
just,
before I
get
did.
yeah,
you're gonna get that.
yeah.
Mm.
They
And I don't
actually
think
were
it's
the
just
ones sitting
therapy for
around
men.
talking about it in their little circle and saying how men don't men don't focus enough on themselves and they need self care. And I'm sitting here in the middle of them like, dang, they getting it together. I need to too.
And my
Yeah.
ex was the one who like suggested that I go to therapy when he realized that I had so many issues. So I can't say that like he was doing the work for himself, and he told me that he thought I should do the work for myself too. And so that's why I say, like, I think there's tons of men out there who are willing to do
Um,
the work, who are out there doing the work,
Uh-oh.
but they don't do it the same as we do.
Yeah, women are more likely than men to have taken medication for their mental health. Women are almost twice as likely than men to have received mental health treatment in the past.
Exactly.
But gender differences, significant odds between men and women. So, I mean, I don't know.
The internet
I
like
think
a
Autumn
very
might be onto
African
something a
history.
little bit there. I feel like I
I
Exactly.
feel like
So how you gonna
I
communicate with a
would be
stop
I
sign?
would be interested to know
How you gonna
what the
communicate with
sample
a stop
pool
sign?
was. What is the sample pool of that data? So
well,
you
this is
always
coming
have to
from the
verify.
CDC. This is coming from
Yes,
the
but
CDC.
CDC.
what
So
sample
I
pool
don't
did
think
they
it's a
use?
small sample pool. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty big one.
The
You
So
know,
how
U.S.
NIH
are you with
is
a
got
known
stop?
for
stuff.
lots of
So yes.
data that is
The
skewed.
Thank
British
you.
So
Association of Counseling
Thank
and
you.
so
Psychotherapy.
Thank you. So we
what is
talking
the
about
I
so
mean,
if it's British, then did they
no,
do
but
it
it don't
on the
matter
U.S.?
British or
So
not.
it does.
Just
We
no,
were
it
talking about
don't.
sample size though.
Well, you
It
trying to
no,
break
always
that
it
was
down
just
to
one of them. The
something
other one's the
it
minute,
is.
CDC. The other one was NIH. The other one was,
and they got similar results.
yeah. So, I mean, I
So
think that,
it's across the board. We as women will take it upon ourselves to take care of ourselves. We spot the wrongs in ourselves. We spot the wrongs in them. You see what I'm saying? And
I
then
think
we
that
are
might
able
be
to
one of the
fix it.
problems
Do what?
is that women go to therapy and then think they're better than and I know some
No,
women
I
who
don't
go
think
to
that.
therapy and think they're better than.
I think
okay, first of all, we are better than. That's first of all.
I
If
don't
you
think
look
that's
across this
the case
panel
though.
right here, one, two, three, four,
That
definitely
is
better than the
oh
ones
god.
that ain't going or ain't putting in the work. Okay,
You know
that's
what?
first of all.
When we have that podcast
Second of
with them
all,
guys,
am
we
I?
ask them that question. When
Here's
we
the
Okay.
have that
thing.
when we talk to them, we ask those men that we will be social talking with, how many of y'all, if someone's wrong in your relationship, how many of y'all will go to therapy to fix your relationship or
I just feel
yourself?
like
It depends on how much the
people
man
that
wants
are
the
ready
woman
and
and what
willing to work on
he has.
themselves are better than people that aren't. Plain and simple. The people that come into this world and they know everything and they never grow and they never learn and they're never a student because they already know everything. Yeah, the people that are actually learning and growing and reflecting, I feel like are better than the people.
I don't feel like therapy is the
Because at
only way
least
to
I'm
do that though.
trying. At least I'm trying to
They try.
grow and learn, and I'm
But
willing to
therapy
have a
isn't the only
discussion
way
and
to
admit
do
when I'm
that.
wrong.
What you
But the
say, Jay?
people that are never wrong,
Therapy isn't the only way to do that though.
no,
Well,
I
what
said
other
that they're
way?
growing and learning and reflecting.
true.
What other ways is
Yes,
there?
but we're talking about like a mark of that growth, right? Which we're saying is therapy. I don't
Which
think
is
therapy
why I
is the
posed
only
the
way to do
questions
that.
like, how are we going to grade this? And that's why I said, is
Yeah,
therapy one of them? And
therapy
then I
is one of
thought we
them.
had a consensus, and y'all were like, yeah, but now it's like,
I
no.
didn't
But
even
No,
know
what
that
No,
else?
was
I'm
in
saying
play.
As
therapy
long
is
as
therapy
you're
one of them,
ready
is
to
not the
grow
no.
only
and
one.
No,
learn.
I agreed with
I'm not
that.
moving the goalpost. I'm saying therapy is one of them that I do think can be helpful. I just don't think it's the only one because I
No,
feel
but
like
that wasn't my statement, though. My statement was, if you're willing to grow and learn and reflect and admit you're wrong, then you
Ye-
are better than someone that doesn't.
Yes,
Than someone that always knows everything. You
yes.
are better than that person because you have the emotional intelligence to say, dang, I kind of messed up. Oh, I could have handled that
I
better. But at
I
least you're
try not
taking
to
the
think
time
of
to
think of
reflect.
myself
But they
or
don't do
or
that.
people
We
being
will.
better
We
than
will do that.
anyone.
Not them. Most of the
But
time,
doesn't everybody come to that at some point in their life?
No,
Not everybody, no.
no. There are
Like
some people
some
that
people
just do not
real
grow
late.
or
Some
learn and they
people
don't
realize it
reflect.
real late, and it's too late to talk to their family or their friends. And some
You mean
people
like on their
realize it
deathbed?
and
and
just don't know
they
how to communicate.
set in their ways.
So,
They set in their ways and maybe on
or
their
they just don't
deathbed
know
they'd be
how to
like, yeah.
do better. Like, okay, so I have a lot of attention issues, right? And if I didn't have the right people around me to help guide me and help me focus, yeah, I could be reflective all I want, but I wouldn't be directed in the right path. It's up to us as a community to reach out our hands to others. And maybe it's because I have problems and
Agreed.
that I want to help other people. I don't know. But
Well,
I don't want to
here's
turn
the
my
thing,
back because
Vera.
somebody has a
Even
problem
in the
and is
course of
begging.
this conversation, on this podcast alone, both you and Jessica have admitted that you have a temper, you have issues remembering, you have problems with focusing, but you both have also acknowledged that you will come back and adapt. You will reflect, you will change. There are some people that just don't do that. No matter what the
Got to do it.
situation is, everybody else is at fault. No matter what it is, you can show them in black and white. Okay, we went over 2 plus 2 equals 4. And they'd be like, nah, but you didn't
It's
carry
thick.
the one. And you didn't tell me that we was just doing regular math. And you're like, are you kidding me? There are people
I
like
feel
that.
like
And I
Yeah,
feel
there's
but
like that's
fewer
the
people.
difference.
had to really hit rock bottom to finally turn around. And I understand that you're ready to give up, but what if you're the only hand that held
That's
on
so
the
sad.
entire time?
That's so sad.
It
Then
could
they
be
should pray more. They should pray more because God will send them another hand. Why do I have to be dragged down to the gutter, rock bottom with you because you
Yep.
refuse to learn?
Yep.
If I talk to
Yep.
you, if I counsel you, if I
Yep.
love
You
you,
helped them
if I hold you
exactly.
close
Up,
and you keep stabbing me in my side and I'm supposed to just
man.
keep
You
holding on
dead.
until you
Yeah.
finally learn, now I done bled out. Now we both
Yep.
in the bottom.
And they ain't gonna
That's
help
stupid,
you.
in
They
my
ain't gonna
opinion,
help
my
you.
humble opinion. God can send somebody else to hold your hand because I'm tired now. You've already betrayed me so many times. You've already dragged my name
And
through the
again.
mud so many times. I've already cried over you so many times. I'm tired now. I can't do
Yep.
it. Keep praying, and God will send somebody else that has a
Help you.
renewed strength,
Yep. Got to.
somebody
Got
else
to.
that hasn't been through it. Because I'm tired, and I'm not going to be long suffering just because I'm the last one or the only one. I might have just been the last person to realize, dang, I should have left a long time ago.
What?
I'm not trying to be that person.
is that
I'm
only
so
in a
sorry.
spousal
If you're
relationship?
willing to help yourself, if you're willing to grow and learn, then I'm willing to be there with you. But if you show no sign of improvement, you don't care about my feelings or anybody else's feelings, then you're going to be by yourself. I can't help you with that. And it's not my job to either. But maybe somebody else can and will, but I'm just not that person. I love you, I care about you, but you refuse to learn. You refuse to do anything different, so I'm going to love you from a distance. Maybe
Clock
one
it.
day you'll wake up and then I'll be here for you when you can show and prove that you're a different person. But until then, you're not going to keep dragging me down. I have too many people counting on me for me to keep giving my resources, my mental strength, my emotional time and energy for you to just throw them away. I could pour that into my kids who are really trying to be something. I could pour that into ladies like you who want to grow and learn and evolve. I could pour that into my community where people
That
that
was my
actually
question.
need help. I could do that, but not to somebody that's being selfish and careless and reckless with other people's feelings and time and whatnot. You
Yeah.
can waste somebody else's time, but you're not gonna waste mine. I only have but so much. I'm so sorry. Maybe God will send you somebody else, but it can't be me. It won't be me. You got maybe 1 or 2 times to play in my face, and I'm gonna be like, never mind. I tried.
Good.
God has stronger soldiers, I guess, because I'm not the one. I'm not the
I
one.
think we just all have different thought processes sometimes. So I can say that having a compassionate heart is sort of my cross to bear. But and at times it has been, and I've been told that people are like, if you weren't there, I don't know what I would have done. But I've also been in places where people took advantage of that compassionate heart,
Hmm.
and they just put me through the ringer because of it. So it can be a strength and it can be a weakness, and you have to know where the line is, and it's difficult to know. It's
I think it's
difficult to
very
know.
important to know
Yeah,
where that line is
yeah,
because there are people that'll tell you, I don't know what I would have done without you. But really and truly, you were the first person they called.
Yep.
Or maybe you
And
were the last
you
person.
respond.
Yeah. Or
Do
you
you
were the only person that responded. So they were like, woohoo, great for me. You just don't know sometimes. But I think with time, you will figure it out because of how you feel after you help them. If you help them and you feel good about it, you probably did the right thing. If you help them and you feel used, you feel lesser than now, you feel more tired than you were before, you probably are being taken advantage of. So listen to that little voice inside of you.
mm,
Is this the same person that you helped last week with the exact same thing? And
I
the
think
week
it's
before that,
difficult
and now
with
you're
with
exhausted?
those of us who are really like who are highly empathic and who are just sometimes people pleasers. Sometimes just we are we're givers to the point that it's not whether or not it feels good. It's whether it feels right.
but Jess,
And
That's what I'm
you don't
saying.
wanna
Go
you don't
ahead,
and a
wanna
lot of
Adam.
times
deplete
it feels
yourself,
right
you
even when
know?
it's not.
Yeah.
and
No,
and
not.
that's where it's much more difficult. So I think for some people it's more black and white, and it's easier to tell. And for it sounds like for you, for Autumn, it is much easier to tell. I feel like with for Farah, for me, it's more difficult to tell where that line is, and it's more difficult for us to have a solid line. Your line is in the pavement. Our line is in the sand.
Oof.
If
Like, I've had somebody tell me
so
that they're gonna kill themselves if I leave them, and that
I've
made me
had somebody
feel
tell
so
me that too,
extra
and they're
much.
still alive. They showed me the gun and everything. They wrote a little story. They said goodbye to all their friends. They are still living to this day. Some people
Well,
just
they
like to
actually
manipulate
tried.
you. Some people like to
Manipulate you,
use.
They tried
gaslight you,
to
all
I
of
be
the above.
successful.
Just to
And
get
at
some
the end of the day, you're only responsible for your
self.
actions. If
Yep.
somebody does that to themselves, they're responsible for their actions. You don't carry that burden. And
And you
that's the thing that I
you can
don't
say
like
that.
is that people like you end up carrying other people's burden when you shouldn't have to, and it's wrong. They're
It's called
taking advantage of your
manipulation.
kindness, and I hate it.
Manipulation. Yep.
You guys
Manipulation.
deserve to be around people that
I
also
know how
want to give and pour into you,
it
Not just,
comes down to say, yeah, I could just say, oh well, kill yourself, and I even said it a few times until they actually tried it. Then it's
that's not on you,
definitely.
baby. That's not on you.
Yeah, at
What
the
you
time I
say
didn't
is,
feel that way. Now I
listen,
know that,
this
but
is,
at the
you,
time,
yeah. And
I
sometimes it
definitely
takes
thought I
life, it
knew.
takes going through those situations to understand.
And then you start thinking, well, what did I do to make them feel this way? And
No.
even
Mm-mm.
when my ex husband was in jail, one of the reasons why it took me so long to divorce him was because he would say dumb stuff like, "Would you want me to get extra time?"
Manipulation.
Yes,
Manipulation.
of course I
Manipulation.
Yeah.
would want him to get extra time. I
That's why
didn't
I
want him to
like
get
to
time in the first
argue.
place.
That's another
But
reason why I like to argue. People will use words and phrases to manipulate the situation and make it worse. Make it worse. Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth, nothing else is gonna come out.
That they can use against you later.
Yes, or yeah, or
And
manipulation.
it's tough.
I ain't got time.
It's tough when you are in the trenches, when you are just entwined with this person emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It is tough.
it's
Yep.
not
But I
tough for
really do
them to
believe
think
that
about it.
each and every single last person has that little voice inside of them that is looking out for your best interest, and you need to listen to that intuition.
Intuition.
We as a people are the only creatures on this earth that deny our instincts. We are the only ones that rationalize it. creatures in the wild, if something says, you know what, you need to run, they run.
Run.
We'll be like, well,
They
what
don't
is it?
second guess it.
What is making me feel this way? They
Yep.
exactly, they don't second guess it.
They don't second
So
guess.
if your intuition is telling you, I don't feel safe in this situation, I don't feel happy in this situation, I don't feel like I'm serving my purpose in this situation, then more than likely it is true. So you keep finding yourself in the type of relationship where you feel like you're constantly validating them, but they're not validating you. You're constantly
Rationalizing it.
helping them. You're constantly trying to pick them up. All the while you're starting to feel worse or less about yourself. Listen to your intuition. I'm gonna promise you it's gonna kick in. It's gonna start nagging you. Like, dang, why do I keep putting myself on the back burner? How come
Well,
I feel so tired?
the
Why am
only
I
reason
so angry all of the time? Why am I so sleepy suddenly? These kind of things kind of pop up and they try to tell you. Yeah, you want to be there for people that are down and out, but those people have to be willing to try to be there for themselves. They have to be willing to try to learn and grow too. You can't do the work for them. You're going to end up tired and depleted every single time. And I
but you can't
hate to
always
see
pull
givers
somebody away.
give their very, very last.
Like I said, I was that person. I was the emotional abuser because I had been physically abused and emotionally abused for so long. It's all I knew. And if
Yeah.
he didn't,
Hmm.
if Mike didn't take the time to try and work with me, we wouldn't be together now, and we wouldn't have our beautiful daughter. I'm not saying that he didn't do his own damage. We were both young, and he had his own
Hmm.
baggage that he brought into the relationship. But we were both willing to stick out even the arguments. It's not that the arguments don't sometimes get turned, but at the end of the day, we're willing to put in the work and continue even through the arguments because that's how much we love
Yeah.
each other. And
But I
I
think
get what
that's
I
different
get what
too.
y'all saying. No arguments, no this, no that. But
That's
I
different.
used to do no arguments, and I used to do
Hmm.
nah, I'm done with you until I found someone who is worth the argument.
Well, that's the
Who's
thing.
worth
You
the
guys
little
were
bit of
invested in
argument to
each
get to the
other.
growth.
That's the thing. You have
Yeah,
to have somebody that you are equally
I think
invested
she's
into.
talking about a two-way street. So
Yeah, you
so
have to have
there's
a
a
two-way
difference.
street as opposed to somebody that's just constantly taking,
Taken.
taking and taking and taking, and they refuse
Well,
to learn, they refuse to
I
change.
But
think
I've
that's
had
that's
those
That's
the
moments
different.
where
problem
I was the
though.
one constantly taken, and vice versa.
Well, I
So,
think that's the problem is that sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to know when it transitions, especially when you're in a relationship with somebody for a long time. When you think of the things that they used to do, and then by the time you realize, you're like, when did it become a one-way street?
Hmm.
Because I've been talking about the thing that they did. Oh yeah, I remember when he used to get roses for me all the time, and then you're like, oh, that was 3 years ago. Oh, well, I guess maybe hold on. He takes my car to get gas. No, that was a year ago. That was and so you start because all this time you've been equivocating. And so
Hmm.
over time you don't realize that all the things that you're saying that are the two-way street. Oh no, he compliments me. Wait, when's the last time he gave me a compliment at all? He's always telling me about how I need to change. Oh wait, okay, no. And then you try to think, and then you equivocate, and you try to figure out exactly like how this could be a good situation because you want to save the situation, especially in relationships that have gone for a long time.
or
So
have
it's
children.
difficult to know or have children. It's difficult to know when that stopping point is and whether you should continue and then like speak your piece and see if you can save it and see if you can possibly get somewhere else with it or if it's time to cut it off.
Or based on
So
your beliefs
I've been
too.
in that based on your beliefs too. I've been in a really long relationship where I was like, well, he said he's trying to get it together. He just needs to grow as a person. And well, I do keep on bringing up stuff that he used to do. No, he was bringing up stuff that he used to do, and I was just responding. But to him, it was my fault. So to me, it was my fault because he was saying he was hurt about it. So I was like, I want to respond to that hurt. So every time he brought it up, and I would respond to it, it was me bringing up old stuff. But I was like, oh well, I'm hurting him, but he wouldn't think about him hurting me.
Manipulation.
It was
Manipulation.
manipulation. And so
100%.
things like that, and you don't think about it in the moment. You think I want to protect the person that I care about, even if they're not protecting you.
What?
And so that's when it becomes hard.
Autumn, I was like, yes, I understand that, and here you come.
All
I
right.
used
This
to
Well,
is.
even believe
I
in
want you to.
divorce. So it's one of the reasons why I let him talk to me the certain way he was talking to me, because he treated me like a queen until we got married, and then he just kind of
Mm,
flipped. But I really did not believe in divorce. Like I felt like
yeah.
my soul was being ripped out. Even during the process, I still felt slightly guilty, like I was doing something wrong. But somebody once
Mm,
told me that just like you can go to the doctor because God created medicine, you can get a divorce because God created the law. And with the divorce, sometimes it still does bother me because I really did think that once I got married, that was it. I would fight
hmm
till the end. And
Lord,
that's actually how I feel with my partner now. We don't even have the papers. I will fight till the end. I will go to therapy. I will get whatever shaved off. I will go get whatever fixed. I will do whatever it takes because I love this man more than life itself. I love him more than I love myself, to the point where I have stopped doing certain activities for him, and I didn't even know, and he didn't even know. He's like, "Why you stop doing that?" I'm like, "You don't like it." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, but you like it. Why you stop doing it?" I don't even know. You didn't tell me to. But that's how much I love him. And I've never loved somebody like this in my life. And I was never willing to do the work to grow in a relationship before the way I am now. And I think it took me, not even having a kid, it took me realizing that when he broke his leg is when I fully realized that I'll never be with anybody else. When they say for better or for worse, if you can stick it out when somebody is hurt, it is one of the most difficult things you can go through when someone is hurt. And both you and that person will go through some emotional trauma because he's going through whatever, from he had a broken leg, there's depression, he can't do a bunch of things, and you going through stuff because you're yelling and cranky, and it's up to you to
No,
decide
it's
what
hard
you
being a
say.
caretaker too.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it is.
Caretakers go through depression as well. It's
Yeah, and it
difficult.
is. And he
definitely,
had to realize that while I was
definitely.
taking care of him, just like I had to realize, well, his leg is broken. He's not yelling at me right now because he's upset with me. He's just frustrated at the situation. And sometimes it was that. Sometimes I would argue back. Sometimes I wouldn't. You know. And I was way nicer to him when his leg was up than right after. That right after period when I realized he was feeling better. It was like so. So
Pent up frustration had to come out somewhere.
yeah. And then he had to
Yeah.
realize, well, I was yelling at her for a few months. Let me let her get it out. So
hmm
we work together to work through stuff. And even when we're going through some really difficult arguments that sometimes we're not even sure what we're doing, it's the fact that we're willing to work it out that keeps me trying to grow. Because if I don't think he's going to work, that can make me not feel like working. Really, oh my, why am I even doing this? What's the point? But if I know he's willing to put in the work, then that's when you're like, okay, I didn't feel like running, but since you're going for a run, let's go.
that's my.
So
I
I had the same train of thought. I had the same train of thought. If they,
yeah,
action and y'all doing it
hmm
together. If one person is
hmm
doing more than the other
agreed.
person, as far as
Uh,
communication and all that stuff, it's draining, and
I
it's
think
like
I
it's a
don't think
one
you
way
can
street.
ever go
Mm-mm.
exactly the same though. I
well,
think
That
depending
is
on the
there's
day.
always going to be
Yeah,
a
it
bit a
depends on
bit
the
of
day. Because you know
yeah.
what? He may go through something terrible today, and I had a phenomenal day, and I got home and I was so cheery, and he was like, and I might be about to, bro, you just try to on my good mood. But then if I step back and listen, even though I'm sleeping, and oh crap, your day. Let me take my temper back.
It's
I'm so
important.
sorry you
It's
went through that.
important to empathize. All
So
right.
yeah,
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Making sure that we have a two-way street. We talked about our arguing styles. We talked about the rules of arguing, kind of the rules of engagement, things that you definitely shouldn't do, things that apparently aren't off limits. And we talked about the different things that we go through while we argue with our spouses, with our friends, with the people in our lives. So you've been with us for another episode of Different Walks Serious Talks. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time.